Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, the Yankees seem to be on the road recovery, win their third series in a row, and I'm not going to say on fire there, but pretty close to it. 7-2 in their last 9 games there, so again, seems like the Yankees were down in the dumps there for most of June and July. Looks like in August finally have woken up here, and just a good time there because now you got 2 months left for a stretch run there. Right now tied with the Baltimore Orioles in the AL East, but again, the Yankees trending upwards in a good direction. This is after a rather decent, again, I graded the trade deadline as a solid B, maybe parentheses B+ for Brian Cashman there. So a lot of good things coming together for the New York Yankees, but unfortunately, Gleyber Torres continues to disappoint us. Yet another blunder on the Friday night Toronto game there, and ended up getting pulled out of the game. So, but of course, that was very short-lived. Gleyber Torres seemingly having 9 lives. So we'll get into all of it. Mainly good stuff outside of Gleyber Torres there, but make sure you subscribe to this podcast. As mentioned before, we've got 2 months left to go to the season. Figure this Yankee team is on a playoff run here. Whether they get the AL East title or not, well, that still remains to be seen, but a lot of good stuff to get into, so make sure you're a podcast subscriber along the rest of the way here, and of course go into the YouTube channel as well, Section 420 Talkin Yankees, search it, find it, subscribe, get those episodes as well. So when we kind of left off with the Yankees, thrilling Saturday night game win in Boston, of course, takes that series there. Move on to Philly. Again, this is after the Yankees already added Jazz Chisholm Jr. and then the excitement he brought there. And we all know what he did there. Again, 4 home runs in his first 3 games as a Yankee. Because the first Philly game there, a blowout. And we're having updates here, at least on the audio podcast, because there's a lot going on. Just kind of want to take a little bit of a breather. We had that, the trade deadline, and kind of the trade analysis. So kind of let the rest of that series breathe a little bit, as well as this Toronto series. But of course, the Yankees with a thrilling sweep in Philly. We're not going to beat the hell out of it too much there. But of course, you had the second game, the middle game there, probably ranks right up there with the Saturday night Boston game as this one of the more exciting wins of the season. Again, that's yet probably another game you'll see on the Yes Classic there, going to 12 innings there, and the Yankees finally coming away with an extra inning win there after getting an extra winning in Boston. And we also saw that in the final game of the Toronto series. So now the Yankees turning the corner, turning the page, turning the script, actually winning a lot of these extra inning games where for most of the season they've been dropping these games there. And of course, the final game in Philly, they got to give you hats off to DJ LeMahieu, a frequent victim of the show as well as myself for criticism, responsible for all Yankee 6 runs on the final game there. It was the Wednesday afternoon game, hitting a grand slam. Phillies would crawl their way back a little bit, but not enough there. And Clay Holmes, after essentially blowing a lead the night before there, able to lock down the win. And, of course, the Yankees secure the sweep there. Nestor Cortes getting a road win, a very rare road win. And the Yankees swing over home there, drop the first game in disappointing fashion. And that's when you had the Gleyber Torres situation, which we all know. Again, hit a ball, drove it deep. Looked like for a second might be a home run there. Instead of actually running out of the box, he kind of went into the home run trot, hit off the wall in embarrassing fashion, and it was just a long single there. And if that's not bad enough, in that inning later on, coming around to third to score from home there, not able to score, and in fact, he put his head down to avoid getting hit by the ball. I mean, if anything, you should want to get hit in the head by the ball just to kind of make up for the lazy play there. And of course, it's thrown out of the home. So not only does he embarrasses himself and the team and everyone else by not hustling out of the box there, but then gets thrown out later on. And now Boone didn't pull him out right away initially there, which you could kind of, I don't know, maybe he didn't want to show him right away, but then again, you have to hold him accountable. So he waited until the 4th inning later on to finally pull Gleyber Torres out of the game there and put Oswaldo Cabrera at second base. And of course, after the game, I guess Torres mentioned, yes, he disappointed his team. He thought it was a home run and it said, kind of never happened again. Judge backed him up. So, I mean, yeah, Boone did take him out of the game there, but you didn't see any punishment because he was right back in the lineup the next day there. It was almost like really no one gave it any second thought. And again, this is after a couple days earlier when they asked him, would you be willing to play third base for the Yankees? And he kind of said, no, I'm a second baseman. And the new guy, Chaz Chisholm Jr., who just came in here, is like, all right, fine, just give me a glove. I'll do whatever I need to do to help make this team win. I mean, that's the type of attitude you want Gleyber to have, but no. So again, time and time again with Gleyber Torres, just continues to disappoint. No way he's back after this season there, man. He seemingly has the 9 lives, but they're sticking with him, and they didn't move him at the trade deadline. Who knows if they were. He still gives you some offense here and there, so you can't totally just cut the guy. But again, this is a really bad look for him, and just just can't wait just for the season to be over, just to not have to think about him anymore. I just cannot see them re-signing him after this season there, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe they just resigned to the fact that he won't be back anyway. So let's not have a big dramatic thing. We're on a good winning streak right now overall. Things are going good. Some of the new pieces that are coming here, mainly Chisholm Jr. as well as Mark Leiter Jr. I mean, every situation they put this guy in right away into the fire. Bases loaded situation in the second Phillies game. He gets out of it. Big, huge situation where Phillies are coming back in the 8th inning of the final game there. Bases loaded, gets a huge strikeout there. So, this guy's coming in and had ice in his veins. Even ended up getting the win in the final Toronto game again. So, this guy's just been great out of the gate there. So, this is looking like a great move by Brian Cashman. Again, not someone you expected there. And you look at his numbers, an ERA like 4.2 there. And it's like you scratch your head a little bit. But as I mentioned, both here as well as on the latest YouTube episode, he's been coming in hot out of the gate. He retired the initial 23 batters he's faced after coming off the IL for the Cubs there, and he's just really continued with that since joining the Yankees. That more or less they've just been unflappable there and being put in some high pressure situations right off the bat. And of course, Aaron Judge just continues to be the hottest hitter in baseball overall, just untouchable. Even though they dropped the initial game against Toronto, but overall the Yankees able to recover. Judge hitting his 40th home run in that game, and then the day after, the Saturday game, Judge hitting number 41 there. So Judge, with 2 full months really left, if you look about it, again, has an opportunity to be around 62, 63. So let's see what's the case there. But overall, if you want to dissect the Toronto series separate from that, Stroman, kind of what we thought this might happen to him, and it's been the page on him, and he's been struggling in the second half. So that's just, another lousy performance by Stroman there. But the big story was the Gleyber Torres base running blunder that kind of got all the headlines there. But you got to look back that, again, not a good quality start for Stroman, and then you look at the bad quality start he had in Boston there, and this is, again, second half of the season. The page on him is his struggles, and that seems to be the case so far in 2024. But good news, another good start by Rendon, backed up his strong start that he had in Boston there, so maybe he's back. And then Garrett Cole, with his first start back, he was scratched his last time with a bit of a stomach bug and kind of feel a little bit overall fatigueness. Luckily, Will Warren was able to step in for him, give the Yankees a decent shot. Again, that was the middle game there that the Yankees were able to win a thrilling 12 inning there, so it didn't really hurt the Yankees that Cole didn't start. And then Cole having a start in the Toronto finale. Got touched up for a couple of runs there, but all right, pitched all right in the game. But it took a little while for the Yankee offense to click in with that. And hey, look, DJ LeMahieu, again, coming through. I got to give him his kudos for that, as much as I kill him for most of the season. Had an RBI sac fly in the game to tie it at the .22. And then later in extra innings in the 10th there, with a runner on third, one out, because Toronto got a little bit cute. They pulled one of the outfielders there, so they had the 5 infielders there to see that they got play in there and knock any ball that DJ tried to pepper through. And DJ just gets one right up the middle there. Not really a hard hit ball, just placed perfectly. And the Yankees get the go-ahead run there and get yet another extra inning walk-off win for the Yankees in the 10th, something they haven't been doing for most of the season up to like last week, but now they've had 3 within the last 7 days there, so try to figure that one out. Now, a key moment in the 8th inning of the final Toronto game. Now, people can look at the box score, you see Clay Holmes with a blown save, and you go, oh, Clay Holmes did it again there. Well, you got to backtrack and look at the whole thing. That was Tommy Kahnle's mess. The runner got on with an error there, walked the guy, you had bases loaded, you bring in Holmes there against Alejandro Kirk, and Alejandro Kirk with a fly ball deep center field. Now, you got a lot on the pitch there, and Yankees almost lucky that was just a deep fly out to left field there. Obviously, the runner able to score easily, tied it at that point 3-3. So if you look at the box score, it looks like a blown save by Holmes. But again, that really wasn't Holmes' fault there. And then Holmes will come back to strike out the next batter to get out of the jam. But again, it is technically a blow save by Holmes, but that really wasn't his fault. That was more on Kahnle there. Again, Holmes is sometimes he digs his own grave there, but also sometimes he's put in some weird situations. And even if you look at the middle Phillies game where he technically had a blown save there, again, none of the balls were hard hit. A bunch of bleepers and bloopers and dribblers down the line that just stayed fair, and this little balls that slow rolls to the infield that I couldn't get in time. So, even when the stuff is on and they hit it, again, a lot of times it's not right at an infielder, or just, it dribbles down the line like a swinging bunt, I would say. So, he does have a lot of bad luck as well. So it's kind of two sides of the same story there with Holmes. But nevertheless, at least at Holmes at that point, able to keep the game 3-3 and again give the Yankees an opportunity there in the 10th to finally get the walk-off win. And as mentioned before, now this is a 3rd series win for the Yankees in a row. 7-2 of the last 9 games. And again, seem to be on the road recovery after the disastrous, mid-June to almost all through July period there where the Yankees would just hit rock bottom. And the only team that was worse for them was the Chicago White Sox, the worst team in baseball there. So Yankees seem to be on the road recovery. The offense is doing much better again. And some of these new pieces that Cashman brought in so far, whether it's Jazz doesn't have the greatest homestand in the world, okay, but still, what he gave in that Phillies, at least the first 2 games against the Phillies there, not only hitting 2 home runs apiece there, but really in the second Phillies game, a huge home run there, a big 3-run home run to swing a 4-2 Yankee deficit into that point, a 5-4 Yankee lead there. So again, when you have a 3-run home run like that just to swing the score, that is tremendous there. So, even though Jazz didn't have the greatest homestand in the world there, still overall, again, a great addition to this team, and overall things are looking in a good place. If you want to nitpick a little thing, of course, Giancarlo Stanton just came back. He came back in the Philly series, had a couple of opportunities with bases loaded, and did not come through at all there. So he's still finding a swing a little bit. I have to get him going there. But again, that's just a little nitpicky there. You don't want to go too crazy because, again, overall, the team is playing well. But of course, he had the situation with Gleyber Torres needing to get yanked out of the game as punishment. But I would at least sat him down the game after just to really make a point on that. And in fact, you didn't do it right away, because doing it right away would have signified that really calling him out and embarrassing for what he did. Let him go back in the field for yet another inning and then pulling him out after. I think this Boone kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth in that situation there. I mean, you're going to pull a play up, yank him out right away there just to make the point. A la when Billy Martin did that with Reggie Jackson. Of course, we know the infamous 77 game at Fenway there. A ball dropped in front of Jackson that, Billy Martin felt that Reggie was hustling and yanked him out right away. Had an outfielder come right out there to replace him. Yankee trivia, who was that outfielder? I can't remember off the top of my head, but again, if you're, I guess, a real Yankee guru, you know that one. But nevertheless, and that caused a big fight where Elston Howard and Yogi basically had to separate Billy and Reggie from killing each other. I mean, that's the way you do it in that spot if you're really mad at Gleyber Torres. So, Aaron Boone doing it, okay, but again, kind of doing it the soft way. But that's that. With the Yankees, again, you would take just the way they are right now, even with that little Gleyber gaffe. Again, you'd rather have that than the Yankee team we had 2 weeks ago that just looked like, complete disaster. So, as I mentioned before, right now, statistically in the standings, both wins and losses and percentage-wise, looks like the Yankees and Baltimore are pretty much neck and neck tied right now, and that's kind of going to be the way it is down the wire. So, the Yankees will have the Monday off, kind of take a breath a little bit, and then we'll introduce and bring in the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of Los Angeles, California, Orange County, a team like to make fun of. And I always say this before, and again, the Yankees keep disappointing, but this is a team well under 500, and not only did that, but recently got the news that, not that you thought he could come back, but Mike Trout, another wasted a year for him with the meniscus, so again, he won't be around for 2024, not that he was going to be back for the series anyway, but again, this is a defeated, beaten Los Angeles Anaheim team already. Now they took 2 out of 3 against the Mets, so maybe they're feeling good about each other a little bit, but again, this is a team that, now that things seem to be coming together with the Yankees a little bit, they should be feasting on. The Yankees should be salivating, waiting for them to come into the Bronx, and Luis Hill will get the ball in the first game there again, and he's been better of late. Again, he seemed to turn the corner there after having 3 miserable starts in a row himself throughout June there. So that's the episode. The Yankees on the road to recovery. Good signs, good stuff. And maybe a couple of weeks we'll get some more good news regarding Jason Dominguez, maybe some bullpen arms such as a Scott Efros. And we keep going. Catch you next time.